In this video, I'm going to give you an idea of how far down the price of Bitcoin will go during the next bear market. Yes, we are going into a bear market later after this bull market. I'm one of those people that, some people think I'm a permabull because I was bullish all the way down to $75,000, which was a measly 35% drop, which is nothing in this crypto space. Absolutely nothing. People thought it was over with. But I'm here to tell you that there's a plan that you can make with this data that I'm going to give you to help you buy near the bottom of the bear market. Okay, so just bear with me here. First, we have U.S. federal court has blocked Trump's Liberation Day tariffs from going into effect. That might be a good thing. Might be a good thing for the middle class that want to actually afford something that's not overly priced. With that said, we also have Hewlett-Packard falling over 17% after missing earnings and guidance expectations, claiming it was due to added costs from tariffs. Just as I said, the tariffs are going to rip a hole in the US economy, and it's already showing, guys. Even with Nvidia's rise today, it's still down about 3%. Okay, from year to date. So this is going to get much, much worse. I expect more countries also that are realizing this as well. They're kind of pulling out of the US stock market. They're getting rid of US debt as well, just as I covered before. If you want to learn about the bond market and why the bond market is yielding a red flag right now, check out my video above. Okay, so with that said, I think there's going to be a lot of more companies that are going to be suffering, especially I think Apple, definitely the Magnificent Seven. Moving on, we have we're going to go over to the Bitcoin conference now. JP Vance on stablecoins and crypto. This is some really important stuff that you're going to need to hear. Okay, so Trump to vastly expand the use of USD stablecoins, to fully incorporate crypto into the mainstream economy. Crypto. It's not Bitcoin, it's crypto. Crypto can mean a couple different things. I'm going to cover that in a second. Stablecoins do not threaten the US dollar. Quite the opposite. Stablecoins are a force multiplier of US economic might. Now, why is Vance pushing so hard? Why are politicians from the left and the right pushing so hard on stablecoins? You gotta connect the dots. Okay, here's something very interesting that might answer that question here. A delay in Tether's blacklisting process allowed for $78 million in illicit USDT transfers to evade freezing, according to a report by AML bot, anti-money laundering bot. So this happened because Tether refused to preemptively freeze coins without a warrant. Good for Tether. And now they're trying to frame it as like Tether didn't do their job, but they're literally following the law at this point. Okay, wait till USDC comes out and you have to wonder why Trump, Vance, people from the left, people from the right, it doesn't matter. I don't care about Trump. I don't care about Vance. Just get that through your head. They're all arms of the Federal Reserve. They're all puppets. And if you don't understand this by now, I mean, you're helpless at this point. So Tether says the idea that this represents a systemic loophole is both misleading and lacking perspective. We're actively refining this process to eliminate any potential advantage for bad actors. Okay, so who's going to be a bad actor in the future, guys? Do you know? Do you think you're going to be a bad actor? Because, do you trust the government to decide who's going to be a bad actor or not? Exactly. That's why they want stable coins. This is going to be shoved right down your throat, whether you like it or not. And even though they say that they don't want CBDCs, they're the same thing. USDC is going to be the same freaking thing as a CBDC. It's exactly what they're describing, but they're calling it a stable coin. Okay, guys, wake up at the Bitcoin conference. As you know, that Mayor Rothschild once said, I care not who makes the laws, I care about creating currency, like controlling the currency. So now the Federal Reserve is going to be able to control every aspect of the money or the currency that you're going to be using through a stable coin. Yeah, boy, I mean, George Carlin couldn't have even imagined how Orwellian this is going to get. Okay, so now let's go over to Bitcoin, the Bitcoin conference. This is from Bitcoin Historian. I absolutely disagree with him on this one, but he's a good guy to follow regardless. He does have some very good info. He says CNBS, I call it, is covering the Vice President of the United States speaking at a Bitcoin conference. The world is changing. What a time to be alive. This makes me want to absolutely vomit all over the place. You know what? In fact, I don't think, like back in the day when I first started, if I went to a Bitcoin conference and I wore a shirt like this, they'd be like, yeah, against the banks, they understood the Genesis block that, these same banks that they're all for the Bitcoin conference were actually the ones that caused Satoshi to go ahead and go, Bitcoin is needed to put these guys out of business because he believed in separation of state and money. But now I would be blacklisted, guys, at the Bitcoin conference. That's why they don't even follow me. That's why they don't want to have anything to do with me. And you know what? I'm totally fine with this because I'm not going to sell my soul, all right? Moving on, we have Gabber Gerbax on Twitter. He's a great guy. Funny how Bitcoin was supposed to fix the system and somehow became a magnet for the worst parts of it. Still bullish, just not on the influencers. Joined for freedom, not clowns. And under that, you had Samson Mao saying, Gabber, name the names. And Gabber said, too long of a list. Exactly. It's become a complete joke. And you know what? This space, when we hit that next bear market, which I'm about to cover, is going to get so flushed. It's going to be a beautiful thing. And you know what? Tomorrow, or actually on Sunday, Heidi's going to do a video that's going to pop most of your bubbles, and you better watch this because it's going to be one of the most important Bitcoin videos that we've ever made. Okay, so let me check out with this one. We have yearly lows. Let's look at the yearly lows and get an idea of how low Bitcoin can go next bear market, because it's coming, okay? Not yet, it's coming. And for those of you who are part of learningcrypto.com and have already taken profits on some of your coins, this is what we have to look forward to. I'm so looking forward to the next bear market. It's going to be a beautiful thing. All right, so 2015, the low was $185. Let's move on to 2019, $3,400. 2020 was $5,000. 2021 was $25,000. This is the low for the year. 2022 was $15,400, and then we went to $16,400 in 2023. 2024 was $38,500, and 2025 was $75,000 for the low. So where do you think it's going to go, guys? My thoughts on where we are going to really be loading the boat would probably be under $50,000. I'm gonna start around $50,000 and just buy the crap out of the coins. Because, why is that? Because Bitcoin is limited in supply, it's still permissionless, it's still semi-decentralized for the most part. It's not a stable coin. And you know what? I'm also gonna be buying a crap ton of Monero because Monero is hated by exchanges and governments, and I love everything, pretty much everything that governments hate. And I think you should as well, because if you don't know history, you're gonna love anything government tells you. But if you know history, you'll know better. All right, talk to you guys soon.